4. Through the mists of the sky. The wind carried them higher than the tallest peaks, faster than any bird could soar. The horses, no longer mere beasts of burden but creatures reborn in magic, moved with a purpose none of their riders could quite explain. It was as if the strange energy they drank from the river whispered to them, guiding them across unseen paths in the sky. They flew for 3 days and 3 nights. The stars watched in silence as they passed. Beneath them, the world unrolled in a vast tapestry of wonder. They crossed over deserts of golden fire, where the sands shimmered like molten glass. They passed great jungles with trees like giants, and oceans where lightning danced across the waves though no storm stirred. At night, they slept in shifts, curled in the saddles or bound to their mounts by enchanted ropes Seraphine wove from strands of wind. The horses did not tire. Their wings beat slow and strong, as though they had always belonged to the sky. By the 3rd day, the air had changed. It grew cooler, gentler. A hush fell over the winds. The sky ahead dimmed, not with storm, but with something softer, veiled. A mass of white mist hung across the heavens like a curtain, thick and impenetrable, stretching from horizon to horizon. The horses did not falter. With a final glance between them, the 4 friends entered the cloud. Mist swallowed everything. Sound fell away. Their voices echoed strangely in the dense white fog. Thornwind's wings made no sound. Brannock's hoofbeats vanished before reaching the ear. Emberdash vanished in a blink, only his rider's voice calling out now and then through the thick veil. "I can't see you," Lamira shouted. "Keep talking," Azrak called. "We're still close." "I hate this," Zorvan muttered somewhere to the left. "I'm flying blind and I've got a numb backside." Seraphine's voice came, soft but steady, "We are passing through a threshold. Keep faith." Time twisted in the mist. Minutes felt like hours, and the mist thickened, then thinned, then thickened again. Their breaths made clouds within clouds. The horses moved slowly now, guided not by sight, but by whatever strange knowing still pulsed through them. And then, light. At first, just a shimmer. Then a glow that grew steadily, like dawn through gauze. The mist around them began to thin, lightening to silver, then gold. Shapes stirred ahead. The air grew warm again, fragrant with something sweet, like blossoms none of them could name. They reached the edge. The mist parted like a curtain, and the sky before them opened, bright, radiant, unreal. Below stretched a vast land of impossible beauty. Mountains floated in the air like drifting islands, draped in vines and waterfalls that poured into nothing. Forests shimmered with hues not found in any known wood, trees with sapphire leaves and trunks of rose gold. Rivers sparkled with inner light, flowing in patterns that shifted even as they watched. Creatures soared and leapt between the floating peaks, some like birds, others like dragons made of mist and starlight. Great stone spires reached into the heavens, some shaped by nature, others clearly carved with care and intent. And in the far distance, glowing faintly through the haze of magic, rose a city, its towers like candle flames, floating upon an enormous disk of stone and cloud. None of them spoke. Even Zorvan was still, breath caught in wonder. Lamira broke the silence, her voice soft with awe. "This isn't on any map." Azrak nodded slowly. "Because it was never meant to be found. Not by just anyone." Seraphine closed her eyes. "We have arrived." Beneath them, the horses circled, wings dipping as they prepared to descend. The enchanted land waited, ancient, hidden, and full of secrets. They had crossed the world. Now, the real journey would begin. 5. The descent into wonder. The sky peeled open before them, and the 4 riders, mounted on their newly winged steeds, began their descent into the luminous world below. The air was warmer here, thick with a gentle hum that seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere. A melody woven into wind. The land beneath them was like no place they had known, not even in story or dream. Floating islands drifted lazily in the sky, their undersides veined with glowing minerals that pulsed like the heartbeat of the world. From those islands, long vines trailed down like the tresses of sleeping giants, swaying gently even in still air. As the horses touched down on a lush, velvet green plain, their hooves made no sound. The grass shimmered faintly with every step, as though delighted by their arrival. "Are we standing?" Zorvan asked, glancing down. "Because this doesn't feel like ground." "It's ground," Lamira replied, dismounting Thornwind and kneeling to press her fingers into the earth. But not like anything from home. The soil was warm, alive. It seemed to welcome them. Around them, the land bloomed in impossible ways. Trees twisted upward in spirals, their bark pale blue and smooth like bone, their leaves constantly shifting hue, from crimson to violet to gold, responding to mood or presence. Petals drifted through the air with no breeze, fragrant with strange, sweet scents, spices that made memories rise unbidden, like laughter from childhood or a forgotten song. One flower opened as Lamira passed, releasing a soft hum, like a voice, but not quite. She paused, listening. "They're singing," she whispered. "Not to us, to the land." Nearby, Seraphine stood motionless, hand hovering just above a luminous pool of water that floated in a perfect sphere between three trees. "This place is conscious," she said. "Not sentient like us, but aware. It watches gently. Like a dream watching itself." They moved through the plain slowly, reverently. Everywhere they looked, there were things to marvel at, great boulders that hovered inches off the ground, tiny creatures that resembled drifting jellyfish, translucent and pulsing with soft light, deer-like beings with long necks and feathered ears, who gazed at the newcomers with solemn, intelligent eyes before vanishing into glimmering groves. Azric knelt by a tree with roots like fingers and spoke softly in the old tongue. The tree responded, not with words, but with a feeling, welcome, wonder, a touch of caution. "There are people here," he said after a moment, rising. "I can feel their presence. But, they're not where we can reach them." They came upon a high ridge and looked out over a shimmering valley. There, nestled between floating cliffs and glowing streams, was a settlement. Not a ruined relic, but a living city, its buildings curved and elegant, shaped from stone and light. Towers rose like spirals of shell and glass, with walkways of woven branches glowing with soft luminescence. Figures moved through the city, tall and graceful, clothed in flowing garments of wind and crystal. Some flew with wings not unlike their horses, others walked among gardens of color-shifting plants. But none turned toward the ridge. None looked up. "They don't see us," said Zorvan, puzzled. "Not even a glance." "They can't," said Seraphine. Her voice was distant, thoughtful. "The water we drank, whatever magic was in it, it set us apart. We're here, but not quite here. Like phantoms. Then we're walking through someone else's dream," Lamira said, eyes shining. "And they don't know we're part of it." The sky shifted subtly, casting golden rays across the landscape. Somewhere, a flock of crystalline birds burst into flight, trailing sparks. The wind carried a whisper, not in any known language, but full of emotion, a welcome, and a warning. "We should move carefully," Azric said. "This land is beautiful, but power hums in everything. And beauty can be a veil." They pressed onward, their path winding beneath floating rocks and arches of living vine. A hill crowned with silvergrass awaited in the distance, and from it, the land seemed to hum louder, as if calling them forward. None of them spoke for a while. There were no signs of danger here. But in every perfect petal, every haunting song of the wind, there was the unmistakable feeling that this place was not sleeping, it was waiting. And whatever it waited for, was drawing closer.